The heavyweights, Derrick Lewis coming in as the dog, plus 133 against Marcos Rogerio De Lima, coming in at minus 165. Over under 1.5 rounds, plus 165 for the over, minus 200 for the under. 1-4 in his last 5 for Derrick Lewis. It's been a rough patch for him. That's why you see the underdog price there. 4-1 for Marcos Rogerio De Lima, 38 years of age for both men. And the Black Beast coming in here as the underdog. I kind of saw it coming, but I'm also kind of surprised because look at who he's fighting. Like, Marcos Rogerio De Lima lose to these guys too. Like, there's no way that De Lima beats like a Spivak, a Pavlovich, a Tuivasa, a Gan. Like, that's not going to happen. So I got to think there's a lot of value on Derrick Lewis as a dog. Like, you always got to look at Derrick Lewis as a dog and be like, okay, he can always land that one shot. Then you look at Rogerio De Lima. He's only been knocked out once in his entire career. You look at how many fights he's had, 30 fights. And he's only been knocked out once. He was an X205er, but he's been up at 255, 265 heavyweight for a number of his past fights. I don't know. I mean, he's got the momentum for sure. If Derrick Lewis loses this, I don't know, like, if he really cares about it that much. I would expect him to come into this one and be like, all right, this guy ain't going that far in the heavyweight division. Like, I could take him out. And I think he does. I think he does beat him. I don't think De Lima can stay safe for 3 rounds, nor do I think he'll have the confidence that he's had against these other lower level guys. Like, he goes in there swinging. He whips leg kicks. He'll go with the takedowns. Derrick Lewis probably going to be ready for those takedowns. And we all know he can just stand up if he really wants to. So, yeah, I think Derrick Lewis is going to be my pick. I don't think De Lima's going to have the confidence standing and banging with him like he has been. And I don't think he'll be able to take him down and do the kind of work he's been doing to the other guys. So I'm going to go with him. What do you think?
Yeah, man. The one thing about Derrick Lewis is that if you're going to bet on him, especially as an underdog, he's live at every second of this fight, no matter what happens in round 1, 2, 2.5. It could be the end of the 3rd round. He could put you out. And that's exactly the type of fighter you want to have your money on, a guy who will fight 3 rounds, who has the power that Derrick Lewis has. And, I mean, he's kind of taken I don't want to say a big step down in competition, but he's coming off of fighting the Cyril Gans, Tai Tuivasa, Sergey Pavlovich, and Spivak too. So now you fight Marcos Rogerio De Lima, who just beat Waldez Cortez Acosta, and Andrei Arlovsky, who's like 75 years old, and then lost to Blahoy Ivanov just barely over a year ago. I mean, you saw Blahoy Ivanov against Alexander Romanov, looked bad, like bad. And then that's the guy that beat Marcos Rogerio De Lima last. So, yeah, and I think a lot of people are going to expect De Lima to come out here and beat Derrick Lewis with ease just because of how Derrick Lewis has looked recently. But, I mean, he's got nothing to lose now. Derrick Lewis isn't hunting titles anymore. This dude can just go out there, relax, and throw the hands. And like you mentioned, if he does get taken down, he can just stand back up. I know Spivak submitted him in the 1st round, but he had to take him down 6 times to do that. Yeah. Like, that's a lot of times to get back up. So what happens when Marcos Rogerio De Lima gets a takedown, Derrick Lewis pops up, gets a takedown, Derrick Lewis pops up? At what point does De Lima just say, what the fuck? I mean, I can't hold this guy down. I'm exhausted now, and he's hitting me with these massive power shots that, knock a lot of people out. So, yeah, for that reason, I think Derrick Lewis as a dog is a great play. There's just the risk that he comes out there and gets smoked too, because you just don't know at this point in his career. But as far as the pick, I'm gonna side with you. I like Derrick Lewis.
Yeah, the one concern I would have for Derrick Lewis is taking leg kicks, because De Lima whips those leg kicks pretty hard.
Yeah.
And if you just kind of how Derrick Lewis fights, like most of his career, and especially nowadays, kind of sits like towards the back to the cage. Kind of waiting for you to come in, and then he'll go. If he just sits there and, allows De Lima to pressure him up against the cage and then just whip leg kicks and stay safe, he could just, lose rounds that way, and it could be a really boring fight. But yeah, it's not like Derrick Lewis is getting like cold cocked, like he's getting, chinned and flat out. Like, obviously the Tuivasa one was like a nosedive, but after that, like Pavlovich, it wasn't like a nasty KO. And
Kind of a controversial stoppage.
yeah, controversial stoppage. Spivak just does what he does on the ground. So yeah, I gotta go Black Peace.